Hey guys, and welcome to Priestly Vids. I've gotten a lot of emails, whispers about the 4.0 changes and how I decided to spec and do all of that. So I thought I'd do a really quick video about that. You'll notice that my bars are completely screwed up. I haven't had a chance to fix them since the patch came out and all the add-ons got screwed up. Um, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail here. I'm just going to kind of give you an overview, and I'll get into greater depth about it later on in a later video. I don't want to take up too much of your time here. Really quickly, the talent trees have been completely revamped, as I'm sure that you've noticed. Um, 1 second. Um, Instead of having big talent trees, they've been shortened and you have less talent points. You don't get a point for every time you level now. Um, so I did 2 out of 2 and improved renew, which increases the amount healed by renew by 10%. 3 out of 3 empowered healing increases healing done by flash heal, heal, binding heal, and greater heal by 15%. Divine Fury reduces the casting time of Smite, Holy Fire, Heal, and Greater Heal spells by 0.5 seconds. Now, about this talent, I'm still kind of iffy on how I feel about it, but compared to the other options that you have, definitely need it to get down the tree. Excuse me. Desperate Prayer, 1 out of 1, and 2 out of 2 in Inspiration. I skipped Surge of Light because if you remember previously, Surge of Light gave a 50% chance to proc off of any spell critical. It's now only a 6% chance off of heal. And as you can see here, even talented, heal is a 2-second cast. I rarely cast it in a raid setting. It's really not that great for holy priests, in my opinion. Light well, I went ahead and put a point there. I needed a point to get down the tree. Some people call this LOL well. Your raid members can click it and it heals them. Most people don't click it, but I figure there's more than a 6% chance that someone will click it. And it's also really nice on Heroics and Dragosa. People in Icebox can click the light well, so that's nice. 2 out of 2 in Holy Concentration increases the amount of mana regenerated from Spirit while in combat by 20%. Divine Touch, Renew instantly heals the target for 10% of the total periodic effect, just like Empowered Renew in the old trees. Serendipity is the same thing, 2 out of 2 instead of 3 out of 3. Spirit of Redemption, of course. Tome of Light reduces the cooldown of your Holy Word spells by 30%. I'll get into this in just a second. 1 in Chakra and 1 in Revelations. And I went ahead and did 2 out of 2 in Body of Soul. But now that I've kind of gotten to play around with it, I may do 1 out of 2 and put that extra point in Test of Faith. Because I don't get to bubble in raids. We have a disc priest that's designated to bubble. And we don't have Leap of Faith yet. So I may just go 1 out of 2 in that talent. 1 in Circle of Healing, 2 out of 2 in State of Mind, and 2 out of 3 in Test of Faith. State of Mind is involved in chakra, and you need to get it if you get chakra, which you should. Test of Faith is the same as it always has been, and Guardian Spirit. Now, remember now, Guardian Spirit, if you have it glyphed, is a 2.5 minute cooldown instead of 5 minutes, or it was 3 minutes, 3 minutes and 1 minute if it didn't go off. So you definitely want to glyph that now because it is a 2.5 minute cooldown. And then I did 2 out of 2 in Veiled Shadows, which gives me a 3-minute Shadow Fiend, and 3 out of 3 in Twin Disciplines, which increases my holy spell damage and healing by 6%. And honestly, you could swap this talent out for Darkness, which gives you 3% spell haste, if and only if that spell haste will put you at the next renew tick marker, which I'll put on my blog. I'll have the breakdown of the renew tick markers, and you can check that out for yourself. Now, Holy Word spells. Those are new to us. Those involve chakras. Holy Word Chastise. It is an instant ranged holy damage attack, which also disorients the target for 3 seconds, causing them to be unable to attack or move. That's what it is normally. If you go into a chakra state, the depending on the chakra state you choose, Holy Word Chastise will transform into something different. For example, if I chakra and Prayer of Healing, it becomes Holy Word Sanctuary, which then becomes this heel that you can put on the ground and people stand in. The best thing about Holy Word Sanctuary is that it does not count as a heal over time right now. That may be changed eventually, but it will proc your mastery heal and keep that climbing. I'm sorry about all the errors in my screen. Half my add-ons are still not working correctly. There are different chakras that you can go into. If you press chakra and then press heal, it will increase the effect chance of your heal by 10%, and your heal will refresh the duration of the current renew on the target. If you press chakra and hit renew, it will increase the healing done by renew by 10% and reduce the global cooldown of renew by 0.5 seconds. If you do prayer of healing like I just did there, it'll increase the healing done by your area of effect spells by 10%. That includes circle of healing and Holy Word Sanctuary that you're putting on the ground. And it also reduces the cooldown of circle of healing by 2 seconds. Because they did increase the cooldown to 10 seconds. And remember, it used to be 8. And the last chakra is Smite, increases the total damage done by Shadow and Holy spells by 15%. Probably not something you're going to be bothering with in raids. Same with Chakra Heal. Like I said, I tested it out on Tuesday and in Ice Crown, and I maybe cast Heal 6 times during the entire night, and it was because I was from playing with Holy Word Sanctuary. So I hope you have fun playing around with that. Really quickly, I'll add, when I did my reforging, I know that's a question I've had a lot. I'm pretty geared. My average item level being 276, and that's with my Solus on. So I'm pretty geared, and so it's gonna vary. If you don't have as much spirit, you're not gonna want to do what I did. But on each piece, if it had spirit and crit, as you can see on my helm here, I reduced the crit by 40 and added 40 haste. If the piece had haste and spirit, I reduced the spirit and made it mastery. Okay, and if the piece had crit and haste, I reduced the crit for mastery. So basically what I did was I made sure I had haste on every piece of gear that I have. If it wasn't on the piece, I made the crit into haste, because I love haste and I like the way that abilities scale with haste now. I think it's really neat. As for gems, I kept my same gems. They obviously got turned from spell power to intellect, but my yellow sockets and red sockets I do int haste, and blue sockets I do int spirit, with the exception of my belt, because I use this belt for all 3 specs, and right now our current progression is 25-man hard mode Lich King, and I have to be disciplined for Lich King, so I did gem my belt with 2 20-int gems. However, that's my quick overview. I'll go into more detail in a later video. I'll put some things on my blog. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to ask me below. You can ask me on my blog. You can log into Spirestone and whisper me whatever works best for you. I hope that you are enjoying the 4.0 changes, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks very much.